Hi, I'm Dave and welcome to day 9 of RPGaDay 2021, the initiative that is trying to get people talking in a positive way about tabletop RPGs. Each day there is a prompt or four to try and get people talking online, making blogs or vlogs and things like that, just to get people communicating in a positive way about how good our hobby is. So, day 9. I will warn you now, before I go any further, when it comes to me recording these videos, I have not prepared. I haven't swatted up, I haven't prepared notes or anything like that. I switch the camera on, I look and see what the prompt is, and I go, oh God, what have I got? Oh, why did I not prepare? So that's why most of these videos look like I'm just ad-libbing and coming out with any old nonsense. So day 9 is the word medium. Don't worry, there's another 3 alternatives if you didn't like the word medium. So what medium can we talk about? There's an interesting conversation I've been having recently about the medium of presenting tabletop RPGs in general, whether the published book is the best way to go. And yeah, it probably is, because you end up having to refer to it quite a lot, but there are other ways of getting the information across. I saw a really good Kickstarter recently that is trying to do it as almost like an audio book, which is very cool, and I've always wanted to try and make the process of reading the rules something a bit more interactive, possibly. Something I was originally thinking of way back in the old days when I first started thinking of Wild was creating a app that is the book, so to speak. So when you read the book, it animates and does things and has clickable links, stuff like that. It's very, very close to how the app version of the Harry Potter film wizardry book worked, so that it was basically a book as an app, so it's almost like you were flicking through a PDF, but each page had interactive elements, so parts of it animated. You could look at 3D elements of it, you could click links, you could see videos within the page, and that would be a really good way of doing it, especially for when you're reading a rule book, and if a rule needs clarifying, you could have a little video embedded into the page that you could watch, where you see some actual plays. This is going back to yesterday's stream, and actually see how that rule works in action. Anyway, just something to think about. Maybe books are not the only way you can get the rules. Okay, so there's another 3 alternatives just in case you didn't like the word medium. And the first one of those is role. What role do you play in your role-playing games? When I first started getting into RPGs back as a teenager, I really liked GMing. I was a big fan of GMing, and it got to the point when there was a little bit of a break in my playing career, so to speak, when everybody disappeared off to university and the gaming just kind of slowed down a little bit. But when I went off to uni myself and rediscovered role-playing, thanks to the wonders of vampire, mage and werewolf and things like that, I got very into GMing again. So much so that I was GMing multiple vampire, mage and werewolf groups that were all in the same setting at the same time in different places around the country, and I'd take the plots from each one and they'd interact with each other. I had so much time on my hands, which is ridiculous considering I was supposed to be studying and doing stuff like that at university. But now I prefer to play. I spend all my time looking at rule books and writing rule books and things like that. The last thing I want to do is learn a new system and actually sit and prepare things. I haven't got time. I'm too old for these sort of things. So my role is definitely now as player. The third prompt for the day is emotion. Where did these come from? Okay, emotion. I think the most emotional game session I've had was possibly the cult game that I ran a while ago. That's possibly the tensest, most emotionally draining and stressful game that I've ever GM'd, and that must be about 15 or more years ago. That was intense, seriously intense stuff, but brilliant, and probably can't replicate that again. So finally is percentage. I can't think of anything to talk about when it comes to percentages, except maybe basic role-playing. That uses percentages, doesn't it? I think the last thing I played that had percentages in it at all was Call of Cthulhu, and the last time I played that was easily 10-12 years ago, which is a shame because I've always wanted to do Masks of Nyarlathotep. I always thought that looked particularly epic. I mean, it's the size of a campaign that's that enormous. One day I will experience it, and no, I don't know what happens in it. I'm completely spoiler free, so one day I will play that and experience the mind-melting horror. Okay, so that's it for the day. Don't forget to share your responses online using blogs, vlogs, tweets, or whatever is hip and happening now. TikTok, maybe you could do TikToks for it, whatever that means. And don't forget to hashtag everything RPGaDAY2021, so that when we're looking for your responses, everybody can see them and we can share them about and spread the word and spread the love in a suitably cool and positive way. Thank you, everybody. Until tomorrow, stay multi-classy.